What's good, guys? The editor is currently on break for Chinese New Year, so for the next few days, you're not going to see any edited videos. But still, I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be active filming all of these videos. And yeah, actually, happy Chinese New Year to everyone who celebrate. I'm technically supposed to be celebrating as well, but this time around, this year around, I'm going to fly my family out instead of me going back home. So that's going to be fun. But anyways, let's get into the video for today. I'm going to break down exactly what you should expect for Bitcoin as not only for the week, but also for the trade setup of the day. So starting things off on the weekly chart, last week was horrendous. Like, just to give you some context, last week I ended up getting 2 no trade days and I think 3 losses in a row. And in the year, I've been publicly documenting all of these trades ever since I believe February of last year, potentially even January. So it's been like a 12-month thing going on now with over a sample size of like 180 trades publicly called on Twitter and here on YouTube. And I do not recall the last time I had a losing streak of like 3 in a row. Mind you, this is like so far my win rate's been sitting at 80%, at least publicly. And let's just say last week was rough, where, a lot of the things that we were trying to look for in terms of the system, they added up in terms of, technicals, but we just didn't get the result that we were looking for. And ultimately, one of the things that I do want you to take away from this is that is perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, you could do everything right, but you may not get the outcome that you want. It's just the name of the game when it comes to trading. So with that said, though, I hope that this week's going to be better. So far, Monday has been absolutely boring. So I don't know about how this week's going to turn out, but we're going to see. So far, we have a bearish weekly bias, which means we're still going to be looking for shorts overall for this week. Now, I was expecting last week to kind of take out the previous weekly low, but again, because of how low volatility it was, you did not take out a weekly high nor the weekly low. And so, yeah, we're just going to hope for a little bit more volatility this week, because last week, yes, the weekly prediction did kind of come true in the sense that, all right, we had a weekly bearish bias, hence we look for, shorts, right? This is the start of the week, basically Monday, right? The week closed off lower than it was on Monday. Well, the week ended off lower than it was when it opened, and hence the weekly prediction kind of came true. But the problem is, even though that weekly prediction came true, what we're doing on this channel is intraday trading, and a lot of that, sure, it's cool to get the direction right, but we want to make money. So hopefully this week's going to be different. All we really need to see actually is just some sort of volatility. That is honestly all, because last week, not the most volatile week as far as Bitcoin is concerned. But anyways, starting things off today on Monday, yesterday we had a bearish daily bias. So far, in terms of the daily chart, we are still looking at a overall bearish order flow, which means that, this is not going to change. The bottom is not in yet. Anyone who tried to, buy the dip, I don't know how well you're doing. I made a video last week, talking about how you should not buy dips. I will expand on this more in a future video, but one thing's for sure right now, until this level gets broken, at the very least, 78,700, you are not looking for any sort of longs, because at this point right now, you're still essentially just going to be buying into a market that is fundamentally going on a downtrend. So not the best situation to be buying into, anything for that matter. But let's otherwise move on to, let's see here, the 1 hourly chart. Right, so far we are bearish for the day. We're still in bearish order flow. In terms of the 1 hourly chart, we have gotten a bearish CISD. So that is really good. Now, what I can also see is that currently price is being rejected off of this bearish order block, but we potentially have this bearish fair value gap to deal with as well. So I guess the setup for today is going to be pretty straightforward. It's really only going to be 2 ways that this kind of plays out. One is you sweep the range highs. Currently, this is very clearly a range. You're going to sweep the range highs. The market is not going to dump, leaving behind these relatively equal highs. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. This is definitely going to get swept prior to any moves towards the downside. If you do happen to see moves towards the downside prior to that high getting swept, just beware that that is going to be an early kind of false move before price eventually does go lower. So relatively equal highs get swept before down move lower. Potentially the other kind of play is this weak high over here that could potentially get swept. En route to sweeping this high, you might sweep this high and then you're going to go down. Either way though, the key is that once the high has been swept, you're going to be looking for a 5-minute change in state of delivery towards the downside in between the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York. Right now, as of the time that I'm filming this, it's almost going to be 6 a.m. And so that should be about a solid hour before that session starts. And what we're going to be looking for is super straightforward. This is a range high. That's a range low. Once you take out the range high, usually you go back to the range low. So trade basically after sweeping this out, 5-minute CISD targeting the range lows, in which case it's going to be 68,000. And I know this is not a huge move whatsoever. And I get it. It's Monday. there is also zero news for today, which means that we're dealing with a non-news Monday, and you guys know how the drill goes when it comes to non-news Monday. Even if everything on price action seems to line up, just the fact that it is a Monday and there is absolutely no news means that there is not going to be much reason for price to move in a very volatile fashion. And in cases like this, the best move is actually just to not trade. If you've ever heard of that famous saying, oh yeah, not every day is a trading day. Not every week is trading week. It is true. It's just hard for beginners to wrap their minds around it because we are kind of conditioned in society to believe that the more we work, the more hours we put in, the more money we're going to make. And yet that is not the game that we are playing as far as trading is concerned. So my best advice is to just like avoid, just stay out of the market. But if you do want to take a trade, like that is going to be the game plan. Basically a sweep above, potentially, right? Potentially we might get a bigger day if after sweeping the highs, we manage to break below, like get an hourly close below 68,000, and then you will basically validate this entire thing here as a bearish order block, and then you're going to go down from there, right? That is the other play that is possible. I don't know if there is going to be volatility today, but there is a huge amount of like just imbalance down below that you could potentially just, if you break below this level, it's going to be a pretty easy, just kind of like a free fall zone for price to go down. But whether or not that happens or not is yet to be seen. One thing's for sure though, on Wednesday, we're going to have news, Thursday we're going to have news, and Friday we're going to have news, which means that there's going to be a reason for price to be volatile, right? News is ultimately a catalyst for volatility. And if that is, if that is in fact what you get, what am I talking about? If you're able to save most of your kind of like trading bullets, right? You're trading ammunition for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's going to be the best course of action. I know that's for sure what I'm going to be doing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to call any trades that are likely if I see them, and I'll post it on Twitter, as you guys know. Like, I don't, gate this behind signal scripts or whatever. Like, if there is a trade, I'm going to post it on Twitter. If there is none, then you're not going to see any action from me. But otherwise, that is so far the setup for Bitcoin. And by the way, guys, we're planning something incredible, like something big, something as big as the 6-hour-long masterclass that I hosted like 2-3 months ago. It's going to be pretty interesting. Keep your eyes out. Like, there's no official landing page that you can kind of like sign up for, but it's going to be free and it's going to be really nice. Just going to take you through the motions of how it's like to execute the system on a day-to-day basis. If the event from November taught you guys how, this is going to be showing you how. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to Ethereum real quick. And Ethereum so far, you're dealing with a bearish daily bias. Was a little bit more volatile compared to Bitcoin from last week. Overall, you're still bearish daily bias. So I think the setup is going to be very straightforward. Over here, right now, you're dealing with a potential fair bit of gap over here and a potential order block right above. So yeah, you're just going to be looking for price to get rejected off of there, especially for a 5-minute CISD during the New York session. I would avoid trading Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, just because like there is no clear range. Yes, you are in a PD array. Technically on paper, you do have a bullish CISD. So you do want to see an hourly close below this level right here at 1960 before you jump into shorts. Hence why I would recommend Bitcoin over Ethereum for today. But the general recommendation, like the ultimate recommendation, if I could put it that way, is to just avoid trading because it's today is not the greatest day, or at the very least, like Bitcoin at least has a setup. With Ethereum, is a little bit harder to justify. But if you do get that 1 hourly close underneath this level, 1960, then yeah, this entire thing is going to become a bearish order block, and that is going to be coming after you fill in that bearish fair bit of gap. So it's going to be a really positive sign if you are looking for a trade towards the downside. And lastly, let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at Solana real quick. And you're still dealing with a bearish daily bias. And in terms of the daily chart, you're still doing with a bearish daily bias. Sorry, what I meant to say earlier was a weekly bias. I'm so sorry. So far on the 1 hour chart, you definitely have left behind quite a few relatively equal lows. And so far you're coming back into not only this order block right here, but you're coming back into that order block. So yeah, either way, I think the setup for today is just going to be some sort of sweep, right? You have relatively equal highs over there. You're going to be looking for price to sweep the high, potentially fill it in this order block, and then you're going to look for a dump towards the downside. The target for today, intraday wise, is going to be pretty straightforward, $84. Solana does look a little bit cleaner than Ethereum, so if there was an altcoin that I would lean towards, it would definitely be Solana. But otherwise, I'm going to try to get this video out to you guys ASAP. Honestly, I'm just probably going to post it raw, like not even using lights today. So that's how like the... you know what they say, the content value matters more than the production quality. So I hope that kind of shines through. Anyways, happy Chinese New Year to all of you that are celebrating. 新年快乐. Happy 年除夕. I think today's 年除夕. 除夕? 年除夕? Yeah, 年除夕. And on Twitter.